So, Your Honor, I'm asking that they have a $50,000 or $100,000 bond with a GPS tether and pretrial services supervision.
Your Honor, may I respond, please?
Very, very quickly, please.
Your Honor, I agree with Mrs. Smith on one thing. The court hasn't heard all the facts, and neither has the public, because I have an ethical duty not to release those facts, because she is indeed correct. Her client and Mr. Crumbley have an absolute, we have a burden, and these are merely allegations. So I agree. And I just want to point out, nobody needs permission. These defendants did not need my permission, and they didn't need law enforcement permission to go to the court and turn themselves in, go to the police department, the sheriff's department, and turn themselves in. I agree Mrs. Smith was perhaps in trial. She had a break from 11:45 to 2:45, and I can't imagine why they were surprised. The whole country knew that these charges were coming. And lastly, to suggest that anyone has somehow using this incident to create press, there's a lot of attention here because 4 children were murdered and 7 others were injured. And that is on the mind of every single person in this country. So I would ask that you impose the $500,000 cash surety on each of the defendants, Your Honor.
Thank you. So in terms of bond, the court is required to comply with MCR 6.106. The purpose of bond is to ensure that the defendants appear in court for all necessary court appearances, as well as to take into consideration any risk to public safety. Obviously, these charges are very, very serious. There's no question about that. The court does have some concern about the flight risk along with the public safety, given the circumstances that occurred yesterday and the fact that the defendants did have to be apprehended in order to appear for purposes of arraignment. The court did indicate yesterday after the swear-to that it would be conducting an arraignment at 4 p.m. And nobody appeared for purposes of that arraignment.
Your Honor, excuse me.
The bond for Jennifer Crumbley at $500,000 cash surety, no 10%. In the event that Jennifer Crumbley is able to post bond, the following conditions will be in place. The defendant is not to use or test positive for alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any controlled substances. Ms. Crumbley is not to possess or have in her possession any firearms or dangerous weapons, shall not have any assaultive behavior toward anyone, must provide a release address upon release to the pretrial services representative. The pretrial services representative will be monitoring bond compliance. The defendant, within 24 hours of release from the Oakland County Jail, must submit to and pay for ETG, PBT, or urinalysis at a facility that's open 7 days a week that automatically lab confirms all positives, provides all levels in writing. That would be at the direction of PTS. The defendant, Ms. Crumbley, at this time is to verify any employment status and verify that in writing upon release from the Oakland County Jail. In the event that the defendant, Ms. Crumbley, is able to post a bond, the court is going to require that she have a GPS tether. The GPS tether must be installed upon release from the Oakland County Jail. The GPS tether will have the allowances that she could go to work, attend court hearings, medical appointments, and attorney meetings. She must provide work schedule, medical appointments, and any meetings to PTS in advance. Again, that must be installed at the jail before she leaves the jail. As it relates to James Robert Crumbley, the court is setting a $500,000 cash surety, no 10% bond. The defendant is not to use or test positive for alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any controlled substances. The defendant is not to possess or have in his possession any firearms, weapons, or ammunition. The defendant is not to have assaultive behavior toward anyone. The defendant must provide a release address if he is able to post bond to pretrial services. He will be monitored by pretrial services, must submit and pay for ETG, PBT, and a urinalysis within 24 hours of release from the Oakland County Jail at a facility that is open 7 days a week, that automatically lab confirms all positives, provides all levels in writing. The defendant must verify employment to PTS upon release from the Oakland County Jail. The GPS tether must be installed prior to release from the Oakland County Jail in the event that the defendant is able to post bond. He also must provide information relative to employment schedule, medical appointments, or any other appointments that are allowed, which will include, he could attend court hearings, employment, medical appointments, and attorney meetings. Any violations of any of the terms and conditions of those bond may result in revocation of bond. Any questions as it relates to bond for James Crumbley?
Your Honor, we have no questions, but I do need to place one thing on the record. I'm not asking the court to change anything. What I want to state on the record is I was not able to watch the entire press release and what I had no idea there was a 4 o'clock arraignment. Ms. Lehman didn't know either. The media had so many reports of random times that quite frankly, we didn't believe there was.
Counsel, we're not going to get into.
I just want to apologize to the court because we weren't aware. And also we faxed over appearances and no one told us like, hey, we're going to do this at 4 o'clock. We sent appearances late in the day. And I just apologize to this court because we don't miss dates. So thank you.
Thank you. Finally, as it relates to bond, in the event that the defendants do post bond, I am requiring that they turn over any and all weapons to the Oakland County Sheriff's Office. That must occur within. Realistically, I'm not sure what they have in their possession or if they're going to be able to be where they're going to be released to if they post bond, but I am going to require that they turn over all weapons upon release from the Oakland County Jail. Okay, any other questions?
No, thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, again, the PCC is on the 14th at 1:15. Preliminary examination is on the 22nd at 9:45 a.m. It will be in-person proceedings. Please make sure that you are prepared with all witnesses and or exhibits.
Your Honor, I just do want to put on the record that there are hundreds and hundreds of hours of digital evidence and voluminous documents, and we are compiling it and we'll get it to defense counsel as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Judge.
You too.
Your Honor.